Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today's topic is going to be terrified, symptoms multiplying. So I'll get to that in a minute, and hope everybody's doing well. Take a couple of nice relaxing breaths. Know you're well. Okay. So terrified? Symptoms multiplying? All right. So recently I did a video on, if you get a new symptom when you're making progress, and I got into the explanation behind that and what's going on. It's really the symptom imperative. And if you're looking for that, scroll back a couple of days and you'll find it. But then some people commented, hey, Dan, but what if I'm not getting better? What if I'm not making progress with my original symptoms, but I'm still getting new ones? So now I'm adding symptoms instead of swapping them out, replacing them. And so, there is a theory out there called the extinction burst, and there's a theory that says, well, when things start going haywire, it means you're almost there. And maybe you're almost there. Because it could just be a bunch of symptom imperatives happening at once quickly as you keep on knocking out the new symptoms with a lack of concern and certainty that you're okay. But sometimes people will misinterpret that term extinction burst and say, I had started with one symptom, now I've got 5, and holy cow, now it's up to 10, and the symptoms are multiplying. Inevitably, I'm going to really encourage you to look at your fear level, look at your doubt, look at your uncertainty about what's going on. Look at your response to the symptoms. Are you launching into a deep research and calling multiple doctors every time there's a new symptom added? And is your fear saying, something's missing, I'm getting worse, nothing's working? Notice your response, because in my experience, the more symptoms you've got, generally, it's a really good indicator of your doubt, meaning your non-acceptance that your brain's creating symptoms. Always a look at something that the doctors are missing or they haven't found yet, right? Or maybe one more test is needed. So when symptoms are multiplying, generally, it's because the fear and the doubt has also been multiplying, right? The perception of danger is what creates symptoms. And the more fear and doubt there is, the more the brain gets hypervigilant and on high alert. And so you can imagine that a brain that's that much on high alert is going to start finding danger in multiple places. So if you're getting more and more and more symptoms, just take a step back and observe, am I getting more and more terrified? The answer is usually yes. The people that I encounter who have the most number of symptoms are also the ones who are really, really terrified. And they'll actually use that word to describe themselves. The symptoms terrify me, Dan. And inevitably, that's what's causing all of those symptoms. Now, the good news is, whether you've got one symptom or 40, the solution is still the same. Clarity. Understand what is causing the symptoms. Accept that this is what's going on with you. Do the assessments. Is this PDP.com? You got to do the assessments, and if it tells you that it's mind-body, TMS, perceived danger, pain, or other symptoms, you got to accept it, because until you accept it, you're going to remain terrified. And as long as you're doubting it and you're on the fence and thinking, oh, maybe I'm really sick or maybe something really is wrong with me, the fear is going to stay up, and it's not likely that you're going to be able to successfully neutralize the fear and convince the brain that you're okay if you're still on the fence and half the time saying, maybe it's my body, maybe it's my hip, maybe it's my back, maybe it's my leg, maybe it's my head. Maybe it's something, right? So clarity, acceptance, and then make a decision that I know what this is. I'm not going to waver from that understanding, and then a commitment to this is my approach. This is what I'm doing. Because for many of us, there was no medical alternative. There was no medical solution. And that can scare the crap out of people because they're saying, I've been to all the doctors and they can't help me. This TMS thing, this mind-body stuff, this perceived danger and teaching my brain safety, it's my last hope. And that can be terrifying to some people because they're like, well, what if I'm not able to do this? Or what if this isn't really what's going on? Then I'm really out of luck. And some people are so terrified that they don't even take the first step. They end up on the merry-go-round of fear and analysis and thinking and research and fear, analysis, research, thinking, catastrophic thinking, predicting the worst, despair, right? And those things are not really conducive for teaching this scared, overprotective, but misinformed brain that you're actually okay. So if you're terrified and your symptoms are multiplying, you know why now. Being terrified is not a state in which the brain operates effectively. A terrified brain doesn't operate the human machinery well. It suppresses digestion, it suppresses immunity, the autonomic nervous system and normal functions are out of balance. We lose sleep, and a brain that is hyper alert, always vigilant, looking for danger, is going to find danger in many places, and that's why symptoms are multiplying. It doesn't mean you're sick in 42 different ways. It doesn't mean your body is falling apart in 42 different ways. It means your brain is terrified and running around the school, pulling every single fire alarm in the building. There's one solution to that. Understanding that you're actually okay, and then calming the entire system down. And the good thing is, you don't have to calm down 18 different things in your body. Focus on teaching your brain that you're okay, that you're safe, that you're not broken, you're not sick. Make that your dominant thought consistently, calmly over time. And when the brain figures that out, the whole thing settles down. It's almost like the brain gives out this big collective sigh of, and people will tell me that, when they get certain realizations, they feel this calm come over their body, a relaxation, a slowing of the breath. They're not breathing shallow anymore. They're not quite as tense or tight. And they kind of go, and they'll say, Dan, I relaxed for the first time in what seems like years recently. It's a wonderful feeling. But it comes from understanding what's going on, assessing and accepting that that's what's going on for you. Yes, there is a cure. And the fourth fundamental, really important, make a decision that you're capable of implementing these concepts. I've simplified the approach as much as possible. And it's working. It's definitely working. Go to painfreeyousuccess.com and you will find lots of success stories. Lots of them. So if your symptoms are multiplying and you're terrified, that's not a coincidence. So we handle the terror with accurate knowledge and a reassurance that this is all temporary. And when you calm down the fear and the terror and the doubt and you get the accurate knowledge, the whole system can settle down. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I'd like to say there's nothing to be terrified of, but I'm sure some people will be like, but the symptoms are awful. I get it. But in the end, you're terrified at symptoms that are the smoke alarm going off in school when there's no fire. So there's no fire in your body. The symptoms are false alarms. So really, is that something you need to be terrified of? I get it. The experience is very difficult, whether it be pain, dizziness, vertigo, stomach, digestive issues, urinary stuff, you name it. I get it. The symptoms are no picnic whatsoever. But when you realize they're temporary and they'll go away once you get the accurate knowledge and dial down the fear, really, objectively, is that something you should remain terrified of? I hope not. Because eliminating the terror by understanding truly what's going on and accepting that and knowing that it's temporary and you can get out of it with these proven principles that I teach every day, that should hopefully take away the terror, leave you with fear, but then we work on the fear. And successfully neutralizing the fear by eliminating the doubt and gaining clarity is really the name of the game. So, love you all. Hope everybody's doing well. And check out the group too, painfreeyougroup.com. Hope to see you in there. If not, keep on learning here. Implement here. I don't hold anything back. I share all of the tips, tricks, and advice I've got right here in the free videos. So, take care, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.